talk about this whole tariff approach that Donald Trump is using. I'm curious what you think. He cited William McKinley's Gilded Age tariffs as inspiration for his belief in their strategic power. I mean, he says he's being flexible. Reporters asked him about his inconsistent policies. So, what do you think about this whole strategy of using tariffs in this way?
It's a kind of it does go back to William McKinley. It's a kind of 19th century mercantilism. Donald Trump, he has a pretty simplistic way of thinking about the economy and trade. He thinks that if we have a trade deficit, it's a terrible thing. It's like a household spending more than it earns. It's really, I don't want to get too deep into heavy economics or we're going to lose our whole audience. So I'm going to spare you all that. But very few economists agree with him.
Is
They
there
think
anybody who agrees with him?
yeah, there's this relatively small group of people. I know Peter Navarro, if you've heard about him, or
Yeah.
Robert Lighthizer. There's a group of people who believe, and I to a small degree agree that countries like China are not fair traders. They've taken advantage of us. They've dumped a lot of cheap stuff on our market. It cost a lot of American jobs in parts of the country, particularly places like North Carolina or the Midwest. There's an argument around all that, but this is not how you go about it. You don't go about it by threatening, well, 25% today and now 50% tomorrow, but if you do this, I'll lower it to 35%.
Yeah,
Now
he's
he's talking
really
about two,
using them as a negotiating tool, isn't he,
but
Steve?
that's how he rolls,
Yeah.
Katie. I mean, that is how he rolls. He thinks it's all a big real estate deal, and the more you threaten, the more you try to apply pressure, the more you're going to get in return. And I don't know what he's going to get out of all this, but I will predict when it's over, he's going to declare victory and claim that he got enormous concessions. But look, let me give you to show you how kind of silly in a way this is. In his first term, he said that NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement between U.S., Canada, and Mexico, was one of the worst things that had ever been done. It was a terrible deal, terrible deal. I'm going to redo it. So he renegotiated it into something called the USMCA, the U.S., Mexico, Canada Agreement, and pronounced victory. Nothing has happened since he left, but now suddenly that's a terrible deal, and we're going to impose more tariffs until they agree to stuff. And then he talks about Canada and fentanyl and immigrants. There are zero immigrants, zero fentanyl that crosses our northern border. And so what's happening is he's losing the confidence of not just the public, but the business community, the stock market. No, everybody thinks this is all kind of crazy.